You're welcome back. This is Newsfile, it's your most authoritative news analysis platform, and here on Newsfile we put Ghana first. And here is my very brief take, Samsons Take. I title it, Let's Insist on Right and Law. Let's insist on what is right and what is lawful. So, if I did a quick cocktail of Samson's takes about those things that make a good society, I would discover that I have written and spoken about police conduct in impounding cars for most of our traffic offenses, contrary to law, absolutely lawless conduct. They have been acting in the most unlawful manner, sometimes misguided and ill-advised by their superiors. And we tolerate them. We don't have to. They are there because we want them to be there. We pay them to do that job. And they are established by law, so they must act in accordance with law. The only time they are allowed by law to impound your vehicle by the dictates of the law, and I've done that a number of times here on this show, is when you have parked the vehicle on the road and the law dictates a period for about an hour, depending on the area, cosmopolitan or municipal or rural, for about 2 hours without notice to the police that a vehicle has been parked for that long. That is the only time that this law, the Road Traffic Act, requires that, empowers them to impound your vehicle. Not when they say, show me your license, and you can't produce it. Then the first thing they do is, we take your vehicle from you. And we know that for most of the times, they do this just to extort money from you. Now, let's hope that it stops. As the state's chief legal advisor and lawyer for the police, the Attorney General is the lawyer for the police. The Attorney General has ordered an end to this impunity. They ask for your license. You may have taken a screenshot and you are showing them. Dear police officer, all you need is the information and not the paper or the document itself. And in any case, the law's requirement is that you can give them between 42 hours to produce it. So what's your problem? You have no discretion in what the law says you should do. Now the Attorney General says, stop this ploy that you use to extort money. Let's hope that you get to stop. I recall the same people who accused me of overly extolling this IGP when he started on the note that he started. And they said, I may have been compromised by him. And that's why I was doing the things I was doing for how he was going about cracking the whip. These same people tend to ask if I had anything against the IGP, criticizing him for supervising this kind of lawlessness. Thankfully, this ends now. We have law that stipulates, specifies in great detail what must be done to earth-moving machines, excavators, found to be used in galamsey operations. The law's common sense instructions, the law's commonsensical instructions are that these excavators, when they are seized, they must be placed in the custody of the police in the place where they are found. And then later, after prosecution, they must be distributed to state institutions that have need for such expensive machines. And there must be a publicity to account for the distribution, who got what. Many districts, like mine, will be so happy to get such machines for much needed work They can use them to pave their roads and all those. This government has violated this law with such impunity by setting excavators ablaze and defended the illegal conduct. The Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has just announced there will be no more burning of excavators. Guess what? He's only telling you what the law says. The excavators in the first place must not end up on Galamsey sites because there is yet another law that requires people to make payments to the Minerals Commission, and they are supposed to fit equipment to these excavators to trail them. So wherever every excavator is, they ought to know. And they pay this money, and yet they are not doing this job. And we decide to ban the excavators in the most unlawful way. I'm waiting to hear who in the NPP, including those who ought to know better, will attack and insult him, Dr. Bawumia, the same way they did to me for simply insisting on compliance with the law. I may have been first to introduce you to the details of the cybersecurity law. It punishes for sextortion. It punishes if you have intimate relations with your partner and you take footages and decide to put them out without their permission. In fact, the first time I spoke about it, this was the title I gave it: Nudity. Get foolish. Get 25 years in jail. You have seen many of our youth and bloggers showing nudity. Please, we didn't pass the law as a piece of decoration. Let's use this law. It doesn't matter whatever wrong a woman may have done or a man may have done in taking videos or pictures of their own private encounters. The law says if you publish that, you, the one who published it, you will go to jail. You will rot in jail for that conduct. Let's be minded and let's stop the lawless conduct. It doesn't stop until and unless we insist on the right things. I'm Samson Ladia Yenini. I get to the vex matters right away.